Hey, this is Logan with Full Sail. We're gonna walk through SEO versus paid advertising. Now, there's a big difference between these two, and most contractors actually get this wrong because they say, oh, I just want my phone to ring. But there's a very big difference and stark difference between the two. So I'll show you exactly why you need both, how to use both, and how not to use both. So stick with us and I'll show you how it's done. Now, starting off with SEO, what SEO is search engine optimization. And in layman's terms, this is when you do a search in Google or Yelp or Bing or any of those other search engines, when the listings pop up that are not advertisements, those are like the returned links or pages that people optimized for search engines, meaning they knew what Google wanted, or they tried and tested stuff and got to the top of Google. That is SEO, all right? And SEO is a hell of a lot harder than it sounds like. You know, when people say, I just want you to search for my name, or I want you to search for, pool installers in Richmond, Virginia, to come up number one for that is not easy, okay? It's like, you know, you're a remodeler here in Charlotte. How do you become the number one remodeler in all of Charlotte? It's not like an overnight thing that you just become number one. And that's how this stuff is with Google. Now, when do you use it and why do you use it? Because what happens is people and customers, like potential customers, everybody these days does a ton of research before they actually buy or hire someone, right? Think about like the car that you're gonna buy, all right? You don't just run off to the dealership and say, hey, show me what you got. You're gonna look up stuff online, see what kind of cars fit you. Do you want a truck? Do you want a little, a hatchback? Do you want an SUV? Things like that. You're gonna do all this research beforehand. So finally, by the time that you're ready to go into that car dealership, you pretty much have your car picked out to a T. And that's how buyers are these days with contracting and construction work, all right? They wanna know before they hire you to come in and remodel their kitchen, A, can they do it themselves? Is it that easy? And B, maybe it's not. What do they need to look out for? What's it gonna cost? How long is it gonna take? All those things, because they wanna get rid of any unknown factors, because people fear the unknown. And SEO is great for that. So you've got people that are just browsing that may be, depending on your sales cycle, a couple years out. They wanna renovate their kitchen in 2 years, but they're not looking for a company right now. They're just looking for all the information. So if you can get your company to show up over and over and over those 2 years that they do their research, when it finally comes time to actually hire a company, you're way more likely to be the first person they call compared to somebody who they've never ever seen before. So when it comes to the very early awareness stage buyers, SEO is fantastic for this stuff. And you do this through blogging and writing articles and things like that. So I have here pulled up for one of our clients, Dan, up in Boston, how to fix a bad paint job. All right, if you do this Google search, which a lot of his work is redoing what either homeowners or other painting companies have done, his article pops up number one on Google. Actually, it's technically called number 0 on Google because this is number one, the Bob Vila one. This is the very top and gets clicked on all the time. So let's just say you're number one on Google for this and somebody clicks on your page. At this point, how to fix a bad paint job, that doesn't necessarily mean they want to hire someone. That just means they want to know how to fix it. There's not any sort of buying intent behind this, okay? So if they search for companies that fix paint jobs, now they're looking for a company that's buying intent, but just how to, not buying intent, all right? And when they get to this page, this just explains how to do it. So they're not ready to buy by any means. All right, so SEO is fantastic for this stuff because it just gets them in the mindset of when you're finally ready to fix that bad paint job, who are you gonna trust? The person you've never heard of or the person you've already read their articles, okay? Now you may be thinking, well, I have a scheduled consultation at the top right there. It doesn't work like that. The people who are already ready to buy, and you've got 3 kinds of people real fast. You've got the yeses, where no matter what happens, they're gonna say yes and buy from you. You've got the no's that no matter how much you convince them or you do stuff to try to make it more likely for them to buy, they're going to say no. And those could be the people that are just browsing or they can't afford you. All right. Then you've got the maybes, which are the people in between that you have to convince. So the yeses at this point, you have a pretty good chance of selling them. Like if they're already ready to buy and they find your article, you have a good shot. The no's, they're out. And then the maybes, this is not doing anything sales related. This is strictly meant for, let's just show some information and help people out. Okay? And that is what's great about SEO. Now, let's switch it. Let's just say you want to be found for somebody with buying intent. Okay? To get found in Google for, let's say, the term painting company or painter or a bathroom painter, and you have a page dedicated to that stuff, let me show you on Dan's page. We did this about a year ago, and since then we have so much research that it's embarrassing to show you, but I'll show you anyway. Exterior painting services, how about that? They come in, this is straight up meant for SEO, all right? It's meant to be found on Google, all right? It has all this stuff, working with us, it's super long. We talk all about, carpentry work and see some of our work. Here's the deal. Nobody reads this stuff because it's so long, but the words do well with Google, so it shows up number one. But because they don't read these and then get convinced to buy from us, then they don't do it. So being number one in Google for a painting company, yes, you're gonna get leads from it, but those are generally the people that, as long as they find you, you're good to go. All right, so SEO is really good for long-term approach and brand building. Now, what do you do about short-term or people that want to buy? And that's where paid advertising comes in. Somebody searches for a painting company in Boston. An ad is going to pop up for Dan, and it's going to say, like Google advertisement at the top, hire a painter now, or whatever it says. And then they're going to get sent over to this page, which is a dedicated sales page. Now, I think I've shown this in a different video, but this, or maybe it was a different client, but for him, the whole goal of this is one thing: get on the phone with Dan or fill out a form, okay? Because if you notice at the top, the only option they have is to call this number, and then the only other thing they can do on this page is either fill out this form or leave, and that's it, okay? On this page, you'll notice they have all these other buttons calling out to them. Do this, do this, do this. People won't buy because it's too much stuff going on and there's a lack of attention. On this, you got nothing else going on. The whole point of this is to do one thing, and that's to build enough trust to get the person to hire you, or at least give you a phone call and give you a fighting chance. All right? So everything we go for on this page all focuses on trust. They come in, let's say they don't want to give all the information at first, totally fine. Trust. These are trust factors right here. We talk a bit about what we can do if we can speak specifically to them, whether it's they want their bathroom painted. We focus on bathrooms, kitchens and cabinets, things like that. Very brief, show a picture, move on. Here's the process. Simple process, 3 steps, that's it. All right? Tired of looking at old paint? There's a thing of, here's what's gonna happen if you don't hire us, okay? Come down, video of Dan, guaranteed work, book a call. I mean, it's all geared towards selling and getting on the phone. All right, this would not do well in Google SEO-wise because it doesn't go through all the stuff that you need to be found in Google number one. All right, this stuff does. Look how lengthy this is. All right, this is not meant to sell. This is just meant to build the brand. But if you want to sell and you want to get on the phone with a lead, you got to do paid advertising because this is very streamlined, very focused, and very specific. And the best part is, we say whenever somebody comes to this exact page right here, if they don't buy from us or they don't call us, show them ads over and over and over and over and over to get them back to this page or a slightly varied version of this page to then buy from us. So that's the big difference. I'll say this, if you need leads right now, paid advertising is the way to go. Okay, you can set it up, you can get to the top of Google because you're paying them, boom, you're good to go. If you're okay with waiting and doing the long-term brand building thing, you can go SEO with blogs and stuff like that. All right, it's gonna take a lot longer to both be found in Google and for the people to finally buy, but you're gonna build the brand steady Eddie and you're not actually paying Google or anybody else for it. So it's a very good long-term approach. And kind of a pro tip with all this is for Dan, I mean, he's showing up number one for how to fix a bad paint job, all right? And he actually has a couple other blogs that are killing it. When people come into the site, I think I have it disabled now, but when they go to leave, a little pop-up stands up that says, hey, do you want to download a guide to, I think our guide for this is how to watch out for painting scams. And the people say, sure. They give us their email, and then what happens? Now you have an email list that you can target people over and over and over and just keep emailing them. And that's free. Once you get an email, it doesn't cost anything. Maybe if you have MailChimp or a service, it's $10 a month. But once you get the email, you can do whatever you want with that, and it doesn't cost you any money. All right, so that's a big benefit of SEO and being found is because they're not quite ready to hire you yet, because they're just searching how do you fix this bad paint job, but now you can email them and go that way. So I hope that helps answer the big difference. To summarize, SEO is great for long-term brand building. Paid advertising is great for lead generation in the now or whenever you need it. A lot of our clients, after we finish a website for them, they like to do both. Hey, you just finished this website, looks good, but I want leads right now and I want leads later on. So that's what we do. We run both. So I hope this helps. Paid advertising works. If you spent, I spent a couple dollars with Google and it didn't work, nobody called me, it was most likely because you sent your ads to a home page. Hey, you want to hire a painter? Hire us. And it comes to a page that has no intent of selling you anything, because that stuff doesn't work. So make sure if you're going to run paid ads, you do it to a specific page that they really only have a couple options of give you a call or get off the page, and that's it. Thank you very much.